Most people think confidence with money comes after you have a lot of it, and that's backwards. Confidence with money actually comes before the money ever even shows up. It comes from understanding how money works, controlling what you can control, and proving to yourself over and over that you can make smart financial decisions. The truth is, most people who look financially confident aren't geniuses. They just built a few simple habits that stacked over time. And once you understand those habits, money stops feeling stressful and starts feeling like a tool you actually control. The first steps to building confidence with money is understanding that uncertainty is what makes money scary. When you don't know when your money is going, every bill feels like a surprising attack. But the moment you track your money, even for a single month, you remove a huge amount of that uncertainty. A lot of people avoid looking at their finances because they're afraid of what they'll see. But the opposite usually happens when you finally face the numbers. The situation almost always feels more manageable than the anxiety you build up in your head. Think about it like driving a car at night with the headlights off. Everything feels dangerous because you can't see what's coming. Turning the headlights on doesn't change the road, but it gives you visibility. Tracking your money is the financial version of turning the headlights on. Start simple. Look at what came in the last month and where it went. Rent or mortgage, food, subscriptions, or random purchases like gas, entertainment, and no judgment, just observation. Confidence begins when you stop guessing and start seeing. The next key to money confidence is realizing that small financial wins matter more than big financial plans. A lot of people think they need a complicated strategy before they start improving their finances, but confidence doesn't come from complexity. It comes from the proof. If someone told you they were going to run a marathon tomorrow, but they're never jogged before, you know that plan probably isn't going to work. But if they started running a mile 3 times a week, eventually 10 miles wouldn't seem impossible. Money works the same way. Your first financial win might be as simple as saving your first $500 emergency fund. That amount won't solve every problem in your life, but it proves something incredibly important. If you can create financial breathing room, that proof changes your mindset. And there's a short story I heard years ago about a guy who always felt broke even though he made decent money. Every unexpected expense sent him into stress mode. And one day, his car battery died in a parking lot. Normally, that would have ruined his week. But this time, he had $800 sitting in a savings account he had slowly built over a few months. The battery cost $160, and instead of panic, he felt calm. That was the moment he said he realized money didn't control him anymore. He controlled it. And that's the power of small wins. Another huge factor is money confidence is understanding the difference between spending and investing. Most people were never taught this distinction clearly, and spending gives you immediate enjoyment, but the money is gone. Investing gives up money today so that future your benefits later. The future you benefits. Both have pace, but confident people know the difference before they swipe their card. Imagine two couples who both receive $1,000 bonus, and the first person upgrades their phone, buys some clothes, and the money disappears within a week. The second person puts $700 into investment and spends 300 guilt free. Both people enjoyed their money, but only one of them straightened their financial future. They strengthened it by many. Confidence grows when you know that some of your money is quietly working in the background for you. And that leads to another major pillar of financial confidence automation. One of the biggest mistakes people make is relying on motivation to manage money. Motivation is unreliable. Life gets busy, bills pile up, and things slip through the cracks. Automation removes emotions from the equation. And when money automatically moves to a savings account or investments, the moment it hits your account, you remove the temptation to spend it. You're essentially paying your future self first before you have the chance to spend it elsewhere. And many financial confident people follow a very simple system. When income arrives, a percentage automatically goes into a savings account, another percentage goes into investments, and the rest becomes spending money. And this structure means they don't have to constantly debate every single purchase. Decision fatigue disappears. Another important mindset shift, though, is realizing that confidence with money doesn't come from earning more. It comes from managing what you have well. There are people making $40,000 a year who feel financially stable, and there are people making 200,000 who feel constantly stressed. Income matters, but behavior matters more. There's a classic example of professional athletes who sign contracts worth tens of millions of dollars but still end up bankrupt. The reason isn't lack of income, it's lack of financial systems and habits. Confidence with money is built through consistency, not income spikes. And one way to build that consistency is by learning the basic languages of money. You don't need to become a financial expert, but you should understand a few key concepts like compound interest, inflation, debt interest rates, and index investing. Compound interest in particular is one of the most powerful confidence builders because it shows you that money can grow on its own. When you invest money and it earns returns, those returns start generating returns too. And over time, growth begins to accelerate. Imagine investing $500 a month in the beginning and the process feels slow. But after years of contribution and growth, the investment itself begins producing more money than your monthly contribution. And that's when people realize the system is working. Another short story illustrates this well. A janitor named Ronald Reed quietly built a portfolio worth over $8 million by consistently investing in dividend paying companies over decades. He didn't earn a massive salary, he just invested regularly and let time do the heavy lifting. Stories like that remind us that financial confidence doesn't belong only to high earners, it belongs to people who stay consistent long enough to let the system work. Debt management is another area where confidence can dramatically improve. Debt often feels overwhelming because people look at the total number instead of the strategy to eliminate it. And when someone owes $20,000 or $30,000, the number feels so big that they freeze. But confidence returns when you create a clearer attack plan. And some people use the snowball method where they pay off the smallest debt first to create quick wins. And others use the avalanche method where they target the highest interest rate first to minimize the long-term costs. Either approach works if you stick to it. The real confidence boost happens when the first debt disappears and suddenly the process feels real. The momentum builds and every payment starts to feel like progress instead of punishment. Another underrated confidence builder is separating your financial identity from your past mistakes. Almost everyone has made bad money decisions at some point. Overspending, credit card debt, risk investments, and impulse purchases. Those experiences don't define your financial future unless you let them. Think about learning any skill if someone burns their first attempt at cooking dinner. They don't assume they're permanently incapable of cooking. They learn from it and they try again. Money should be treated the same way. Mistakes are tuition, and every mistake teaches something valuable about behavior, risk, or priorities. Another critical piece of financial confidence is having a plan for unexpected expenses. Emergencies are not rare events, they are guaranteed events. Cars break, appliances fail, and medical bills appear. Travel emergencies happen, and without a financial cushion, every unexpected expenses feels like a crisis. But with an emergency fund in place, those same situations become inconveniences instead of disasters. And most financial experts recommend building 3 to 6 months of essential expenses as an emergency fund. And that goal may take time, but even the first $1,000 can dramatically change how secure someone feels financially. Confidence grows when you know your life can't easily knock you off balance. Long term thinking is another powerful confidence builder. Many financial decisions become easier when you zoom out and think in decades instead of days. For example, someone investing for retirement might see their investment drop during a bad market year. If they focus only on the short term loss, panic sets in. And but if they zoom out and view a 30-year timeline, temporary volatility becomes much less stress threatening. And history shows that markets rise and fall repeatedly, but long term growth has consistently rewarded patient investors. And understanding the pattern can prevent emotional decisions during temporary downturns. Another powerful habit is surrounding yourself with better financial influences. The people around you shape how you think about money more than you realize. If your social circle constantly encourages overspending, luxury purchases, and lifestyle inflations, it becomes harder to stay disciplined. But if you spend time around people who value saving, investing, and long term thinking, those behaviors start to feel more normal. Confidence grows in environments where smart decisions are reinforced instead of ridiculed. And finally, one of the most important truths about money confidence is that it compounds just like investments do. Every responsible decision strengthens the next one, and tracks your spending leads to savings. Saving leads to investing, and investing leads to long term growth. Growth leads to freedom and choices. And over time, the person who once felt overwhelmed by money begins to feel calm, prepared, and capable. And that transformation rarely comes from one big moment. It comes from dozens of small decisions repeated over months and years. And the person who once avoided looking at their bank account becomes a person who reviews their finances weekly. And the person who once feared investing becomes the person who regularly contributes to their portfolio. The person who once panicked over a small emergency becomes the person who calmly handles the unexpected expense. And that's what real financial confidence looks like. Not flashy wealth, not risky bets, and not overnight success, just steady control, clear systems, and the quiet knowledge that your money is working for you instead of against you. Thanks for watching. If you liked today's video, check out this video on the right. Also, if you like this video too, and you found some use from this video, something obtainable that you enjoyed about this video, will you please subscribe? We are looking to build this channel, and without you guys, we can't do it. And if we're gonna remain here, we need some subscribers. So I'd highly appreciate it if you did. Thanks a lot.